So local government officials, departments of your state, are mandated to use social media. They're mandated to use social media. They're trained on how to use social media officially for their accounts, and it all stems back to the Freedom of Information Act of 1969. And it's been amended, of course, throughout the years. And because of the rise of technology and social media, the government, of course, had to put into place the laws and regulations to regulate it. And who governs social media? Federal law. So when I went to my government official, local, and said, I need you guys to stand up and be the voice for these little humans that are being abused on these platforms, and say that you no longer will support these platforms and that you will delete your profiles and stop using them. And he straight up said, we can't. What? We are mandated to use social media. We can't just remove the profiles. It's the Freedom of Information Act. I'm going to leave him nameless because he was very kind and he gave me a lot of information. His position doesn't matter. He's a government official. And he informed me that they are forced to use social media and they couldn't stop using it even if they wanted to. So you guys know me. Of course I'm going to research. So I did. And I found what he was saying was factual. And I don't think that it is my state's stance that they are supporting what's happening on social media, because they're not. My government officials that I've been speaking with, including the one I talked to today, does not support what's happening on social media. But because of the Freedom of Information Act that was enacted in 1969 and then amended a million times throughout the different administrations, it's now law that our local legislators use social media and keep up with the trends officially. Legally, of course. Social media communication provides the opportunity and responsibility to communicate directly to the public. DoD uses official social media accounts for the sake of transparency and disseminate information. It's my state, that's why I blacked it out. Officers and social media account managers should proactively maintain currency in the latest social media tactics, best practices, and trends. Coupled with an understanding, yada yada, social media account managers must complete Operation Security Training Level 2 and be prepared to act quickly and implement evolving capabilities and intelligence to remain effective in the use of the platform. All of our government official places have to use these. So even when I'm asking the school boards to stop using Facebook, they can't. And I didn't realize that. I don't even know if they realize that. But they can't. Because aren't public schools government official organizations or whatever? Businesses? I don't know. They're official government buildings, places. So they can't. But again, I don't know if they realize that they can't. So now, if we want this to change, if we want our governments to be like our state reps and our state officials to be a voice and take this stance, we're going to have to go above our local legislatures and contact the DoD and the federal government, which I've been trying to do. And they say, we're in the process of discussing it. You've been discussing it for years. Meanwhile, these platforms aren't protecting the little humans. The government can't protect the little humans because the government that does want to protect them are being stopped by the bigger government officials like federal government. And y'all are forcing them to use the platforms. They can't even take the stance. They don't want to use them even if they wanted to. Then you've got the general public that's just like, so many doors and they're all being closed. Nothing we can do. Let's go about our lives. I'm not going about my life and I'm not stopping. If I have to go to the federal government and sit outside and wait for days to talk to them, I will. Because us living in a world where our children are being recorded being abused at the age of infancy by a grown man, or advertisements for fathers and daughters being sold and that material, we're living in a world where we're going to allow it, accept it, not do anything about it, not take a stance, and then tell our children to grow up and make the world a better place. And we ourselves didn't do anything. Nope, not me, can't do it. Sorry. I'm not gonna stop. They're building trust through transparency. That's why they use social media. Breaks their things that they do down easily for the public being on social media. But I just want to point out, I keep talking about bringing value back into the print industry. Even though the Constitution guarantees freedom of the press, the government does regulate some media. Federal government governs social media, but they don't govern print media. They are largely unregulated. Because when I asked my local mainstream newspaper, I said, are you guys restricted in any way by the government? Nope. They have power. That's our ticket. That is our meal ticket to get awareness about this, is the print industry. Newspapers and magazines can print nearly anything as long as they don't slander anyone. Guess what? This isn't slander, it's fact. You can look it up. How is the media regulated by the government, you ask? The Federal Communications Commission regulates interstate and international communications by radio, television, wire, satellite, and cable in all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and U.S. territories. Just in case you thought I was lying or misinformed about social media having more protection, here's just another little bit more proof. The Digital Millennium Copyright Act and the Communications Decency Act. Defamation and privacy lawsuits can be filed based on social media content. Social networking sites often have greater protection under the law than their users.